Best Airmail Rare Stamps to Collect Part 3. The 25-cent stamp of the Panama Canal from 1958. Depicted in the center. The map of the United States of America. Of Central America. And South America. Where it will be possible to see the Panama Canal area. A territory dependent on the United States. Vast 1,432 square kilometers. But administered from Panama. This artificial canal allows the passage of boats, and therefore allows the passage of maritime trade between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, thus allowing a reduction in transport costs for a certain period of time. This territory had issued its own stamps to allow the payment of commercial taxes. Top left. You will be able to see the writing. Airmail. Down. The nominal value of the piece. 25 cents of the US dollar. Postage stamp issued in 1958. Today it's worth $24. The United Nations 6-cent stamp was issued on the occasion of the 25th anniversary since the founding of the Charter of the United Nations, created in 1945. It was based on an international organization dedicated to maintaining global peace and security, developing friendly relations between nations. On the center, you will be able to see the official logo symbol adopted by this organization. The terrestrial globe that groups together the continents, surrounded by an olive leaf. More prominent, the letters U and N, acronym for United Nations. All top, the writing United States postage, followed by the nominal value of the piece, 6 cents of the American dollar. All below, the writing commemorating the 25th anniversary since the birth of the organization. Postage stamp issued on November 20, 1970. It has an 11 serration, printed with a lithography method, where the stamp remains completely smooth and flat. The colors and inks are opaque, and the shadings are made up of dense and crossed lines. Today this piece is worth $50. Alfred Verville's 33-cent stamp from 1985 is part of the Pioneers of Aviation series, a series of stamps that will last more than 20 years. Piece issued in honor of Alfred Verville, pioneer of American aviation and 20th century aircraft designer, which contributed to the development of civil and military aviation. You will be able to see his bust depicted, with behind the famous Curtiss Jenny, the most famous seaplane in the history of aviation. In the early 1920s, Verville took part in the project and produced several aircraft, including the Verville Sperry Classic Trophy, capable of flying at record speeds for the time, 216 miles per hour. Half a century later, this aircraft, it was recognized as one of the 12 most significant and important aircraft in the history of humanity. Up, the written airmail. To the right, the nominal value of the piece, 33 cents of the US dollar. All below, W, the writing containing his name and surname. Postage stamp issued on February 13, 1985. It had a circulation of 98,600,000 copies, with an 11 serration. It was printed using the photo engraving method, where a flat aluminum matrix. He printed drawings and writings via computer-like machine. Today this piece, valid printed on a sheet of 30 copies. It's worth $65. The 39-cent stamp from 1985 depicts the faces of two aviation pioneers, Lawrence and Elmer Sperry. Both have been part of U.S. aviation history. Lawrence invented the first autopilot, an electronic mechanical device capable of driving a vehicle without assistance from humans. In addition to the landing gear, Elmer, inventor, created the gyro compass, a navigation system capable of finding a direction set by the pilot, not based on the Earth's magnetic field, but by gyroscopic properties, useful in aviation. In the background on the right, the aircraft used for their experiments. Down, their names and surnames. Under, the nominal value of the piece, 39 cents of the US dollar. Postage stamp issued on February 13, 1985. Issued 110,475,000 copies. It was printed using the photo engraving method, with an 11 serration. Today it is valid on a sheet containing 30 pieces. A whopping $85. The 1985 Trans-Pacific stamp. Depicted in the center. The Martin M130. A 1934 US-built seaplane. It was 27.7 meters long. 7.51 meters high. It was capable of carrying 46 passengers. And carry out night flights. Stamp issued in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the China Clipper, the seaplane that managed to make the first trans-Pacific airmail flight, beating all expectations. Because at the time, seaplanes were expected to have a range of no more than 800 miles. Next to the image, the written Trans-Pacific Airmail 1935, with the writing USA written underneath, followed by the nominal value of the piece. 44 cents of the US dollar. Piece released on February 15, 1985. It had a circulation of 167,625,000 copies. With an 11 serration. It was printed using the photo engraving method. Today a sheet containing 50 pieces. Worth $95. The 1968 Arkansas stamp. It was issued to commemorate one of the largest civil works projects of the time, which allowed the use of rivers in Arkansas and Oklahoma for the commercial exchange of over $1 billion. In the 1920s, frequent floods caused damage, and it was practically impracticable to use the river for navigation. A few decades later, the river navigation system was designed and architected. On the center, a wheel is symbolically represented, which directs the rudder of the boats. On background, as well as a commercial ship, you will be able to see a pillar that carries the electric current. Next to the nominal value of the piece, 6 cents of the American dollar. Down, the written Arkansas River Navigation postage stamp issued on October 1, 1968. It has an 11 serration, and today it is worth $100. The 1968 Boone stamp was issued in commemoration of one of the greatest pioneers in American history, Daniel Boone, 18th century explorer, founded Boonesboro, and opened the way for settlers to settle other cities. On the stamp, you will be able to see the writing showing his name and surname, followed by the date 1734, year of his birth. To the left, the nominal value of the piece, 6 cents of the American dollar. The peculiarity of this piece lies in the phosphorescent material that was applied to the ink. This peculiarity makes the stamp shine and increase the value of the piece. Postage stamp issued on September 26, 1968. It has an 11 serration, and today it is worth $138.